The item that always stops people in their tracks are the coloured illustrations of Alice's adventures in Wonderland. It's through these illustrations which is the first time you see Alice's blue dress. It wasn't Disney that marketed it first.
Every story begins somewhere. A conversation, a sketch, a handwritten note, an idea. Some go on to change the world.
So in the Macmillan archive there are around 20,000 boxes and counting. Macmillan & Co publish some incredible authors, one of the big ones being Lewis Carroll. We published Alice's Adventures in Wonderland in 1865.
We think of books as finished things, but behind every story is one other, the story of how it came to be.
The really special thing about Macmillan's history is that it's illustrative of Alexander and Daniel Macmillan's vision for education for the masses. They believed that everybody should have access to literature and books. The first editor of Nature, Norman Lockyer, eventually came to Alexander and said that I think that we need a science journal, and that is how Nature was born. Archives provide the evidence of the history that you're making, and without them the real stories of the people that created them would be lost.
Some stories entertain us. Others change the way we see the world, but everyone begins with the same thing, a curiosity.
Art and science both in some ways try to interpret the world around us and understand it in very different ways, of course, but there are commonalities, more commonalities than I think we ever admit. Stories is how we communicate everything in life. We tell stories to friends, to families, to colleagues. That's how scientists communicate their research, with perhaps more jargon that only they understand, but it's still storytelling.
I think it's really important that we preserve these fantastic archives, because these hold the ideas, the building blocks upon which other scientific discoveries were built and other stories were inspired. That's really about the emotional connection with the scientific discovery. So what was the backstory of the researcher that came up with the great discovery? But also, most importantly, what was the impact of the discovery on our lives?
Why today we can be vaccinated against a disease that at some point was lethal. All of that very clearly touches everyone's lives on a daily basis, and this is a result of scientific discovery or some innovation and technology. It's really wonderful and worthwhile to understand where it came from, how it came to pass, and why we can enjoy the fruits of those endeavors today.